Devin in the Morning. Common Sense Radio.
Good morning, you bunch of drunks.
So, Democrats in their latest rap is that Devin Nunes violated the law and blah, 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 blah. But I want to ask Hans von Spakovsky from the Heritage Foundation. And thank you for your patience, my friend. Just a couple more quick questions for you. So, it's my understanding he didn't violate any law at all in this matter, right?
No, because he didn't give any details. You know, if he had revealed classified information, the best example of that would be that if he named a undercover intelligence agent, yeah, that would be against the law. But he didn't do anything like that. He didn't give any kind of details. He just simply said, look, I've seen intelligence reports that indicate that intelligence was gathered on Trump associates and that the NSA was told to unmask the identities of people that had particular phone numbers. So he hasn't given any details. He hasn't identified anybody inside the NSA or any of the Trump people. He's just kind of given a general report on it. You can't say that in any way violated the rules against revealing classified information.
And within this story, there was an assumption that the actual spying on the foreign entities was legit to begin with. What I'm saying is there a possibility that this whole thing where, well, we did have the vice warrant, we did have this, we did have reason to believe this, and we did want to check in with these Russian guys, is there a possibility that was all really just a cover and a basis on which they really wanted to spy on President Trump and his transition team, so they just made up this case that they would have to spy on the Russians?
Well, again, we don't know the answer to that because we don't have enough information. But what everyone should keep in mind is that the only reason the chairman of the Intelligence Committee knows about this is because whistleblowers contacted him to tell him about it. And if the whistleblowers were contacting him to say, well, we think something was being done that shouldn't have been done, and it wasn't legitimate, well, then that raises questions along the very lines of what you just talked about. Was the original investigation or gathering of information from these phone calls, was that legitimate? We don't know. We don't have enough details.
Yeah, I mean, that's what really is interesting. And I know that there's apparently, I've seen some writings that some of these surveillances were taking place on a variety of different government entities, including the Supreme Court. But I know that that's just a lot. That's a long way to go, and that'll be way in the offing if we find out anything about that whole thing. But yeah, so far, are we going to? Do you know if we're going to? Apparently, we're supposed to find out more proof.
Yes,
today?
Supposedly the reports are that the NSA has been asked to provide specific information about what the whistleblowers told the chairman about.
And is it likely they will do that?
Yes. I think they have an obligation to do it, and with the Trump administration now running things, hopefully they will force the NSA to comply with the law and do it.
Well, that's amazing. And so it could be a very interesting day up there in D.C. and beyond. Hans von Spakovsky, thank you so much for being with us, and love having you on here and as well as on TV. So we'll hook up with you maybe next week.
That sounds great.
All right. Thank you, friend.